All right. If you are currently watching, then we are live here for our second weekly guitar collection live stream. Want to go ahead and apologize for the first one. Listening back, I didn't realize how bad the audio quality was. I had to jump over to the YouTube built-in live stream software, and that does noise cancellation. Like if you've ever taken a bad lesson on Zoom or where it's canceling the background noise, you have to turn on original audio. On YouTube, there's no such feature as far as I know, so I'm using streaming software again, and hopefully it's sounding good. So if you are currently in chat or you're watching this later, let me know what you think of the quality, if it's sounding and looking good. And whether you're here live or you're watching this later, let me know what guitars you would like to see or what subjects you would like me to cover in these streams. Plan is to make these about a half an hour long. So yeah, let's see how this goes, and let's get started. Because for those watching later, I don't want to make you wait through me saying, well, let's wait for a few more people to join. By the way, if you are watching this later, or you're watching this now, these will be every week on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central U.S. time. So that's 12 o'clock New York time or 9 a.m. California time. So yeah, make sure to check these out, and I'll be showing the selection of the week, if you will, here. And today I'm going to start with this 2014 Antonio Marin Montero. By the way, I got feedback, some really nice comments about the live stream last week and said, hey, let us know what guitars you're going to be presenting. This time you totally can see which ones I'm going to go through and the order in which I will go through them by looking in the description. I put this Antonio Marin Montero, followed by, wrong direction, this Stephan guitar from 2024. It's a Doubletop. And then I'll be showing you this 1929 Francisco Simplicio, a real gem. All three of these guitars are, and only one, maybe two of them are listed on the website at the time of watching here. So this one I just listed and made a full video of, but maybe I can show you a little bit more about this guitar. By the way, I see we have a few viewers here now, so if you are here, say hello. Here's the sound of this 2014 Antonio Marin Montero. The first string on this guitar, I was actually tuning it up. I have my phone tuner open here. I was tuning it up right before I started streaming, and when I played this open E, it vibrates in the top in all sorts of interesting and new places. Like when I'm plucking this note, when I play it right here, I feel it pumping against my forearm right here, which is a really great feeling because the whole top is responding. Wow, I feel it really strongly when I pluck here over the sound hole, and not so much here. And I feel like I know why. When I'm plucking here, there's more bass response, and I feel that right here, whereas here it's more treble response, and I'm not getting it that much at the edges of the guitar. But it's a really nice feeling. And then when you let it ring for a moment, you feel it circulate. Like at some point it vibrates against the back, and then another point against your knee. It's a really nice sound. It's got this really nice crystalline, bright sound, I would say. I gotta file my nail a little bit, my A finger is getting too bright. But it has this sound that just, it cuts through with clarity, but it's got this depth when you play the bass. That's really, really nice. But overall, it's a bright leaning guitar, which is really refreshing when you have this powerful of basses. You know, you have... It's just a really powerful guitar. Or if you have any questions about any of the guitars behind me here. For those that are just joining, this will happen every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central US time. And if you're curious about what guitars I'm going to be playing on, I have that in the description as well. So as well as I'm doing it in the order in the description, which is starting with this Antonio Marin Montero from 2014 that I just made a video on. So you can check that out too. But this thing is in pristine condition, and it just sounds so great. A very open sounding guitar, even though it obviously wasn't played that much. You know, sometimes you see guitars like this that have been played for 10 years heavily, and there's gonna be scratches all over it. It's just, there's obvious signs of play wear. I mean, you'll have lots of wear here, where your arm rests, where your hand bumps against the guitar there, and a lot of times on the back of the neck too, you'll feel nail marks, you'll feel wear in certain parts of the French polish. Not a bad thing at all, but at least on this guitar, it's pretty cool to know that it's 10 years old but not been played so much, if you are interested in it. I don't know that whole tune, but I know it goes somewhere like that's where it goes. And I know it does this. Okay, I remember the minor section there, the first minor section. Wow, when I was on this note. Gosh, this G and the F sharp are equally nice. Can you hear that? Can you hear it through the live stream here? So nice. You know what? It's always a magical, mysterious thing to me when guitars have a certain ability to get great and easy vibrato. I was talking with a luthier friend of mine, Stephan Walter, about this, and I was like, how come some guitars just seem to be able to get vibrato so easily? And he was telling me he thinks it's a lot to do with the sustain of the guitar, and that makes a lot of sense to me. If it rises and then stays at a pitch for a long time, you feel the ability to manipulate the sound. Whereas if the note dies away, like say it's like, you know, obviously, no guitar dies away that fast. But if it dies away quickly, you don't feel like you can take your time doing a vibrato. Or really, after 1 or 2 seconds of the note blooming, it's just already fading too fast, so you don't hear your vibrato as well. But you hear it so well on here. Of course, the nylon strings help. This is not nylon. This is actually a carbon B string. Nylon strings, since they're not as tight as carbon, you feel like you can manipulate the string a little bit more, right? It makes sense if you were to like bend it. Also, that's the same case, right? So in that way, this guitar is really great. By the way, for those of you that don't know much about Antonio Marin Montero, this is like the quintessential Granada Spanish guitar, Granada-made Spanish guitar. Antonio Marin Montero, I believe, is 91 years old now. Gets a lot of help from his nephew for building guitars. And I believe he just recently retired from guitar building. So this guitar is from 2014. It is, oh yeah, it has this beautiful Brazilian rosewood back with sapwood down the center. And it's an all traditional guitar. So these are other things I think I should explain is that when you say it's a Granada-made guitar, typically that's going to mean it's totally traditional. No lattice brace, no double top going on. It is just a fan-braced guitar. A little bit about Antonio Marin Montero's story is that he studied, well, maybe the word isn't study, but he became friends with Robert Boucher, the famous French maker that only built, I believe, 152 guitars. But they were, of course, played by Bream and many others and loved by so many still today. But anyways, Marin Montero and Boucher built guitars together. They'd often spend summers together. And so this design he calls, or maybe he doesn't call this, but this is colloquially called the Marin Montero Boucher model. And believe that's what the B next to the serial number means if you looked on one of the inside bracings here. He also makes a variety of other style of guitars, but this is his most popular one. If you look up videos of Antonio Marin Montero guitars, you'll find a lot of these. So, totally traditional guitar, known for having a lot of power and sustain, but being, of course, completely traditional. Sorry if I'm peeking the microphones at all here. Well, okay, that's enough of this Antonio Marin Montero from 2014. Of course, this is live stream, no edit, so you'll see how many mistakes I really make. And I'm going to move on to, speaking of another famous maker, I will show you this instrument by the New England-based luthier Stephan Connor. Now, unless you are a total stranger to the guitar world, you know this luthier's name because his guitars are played by many of the most famous artists around the world. You have the Assad brothers playing them, Annabelle Montesinos, Marco Tamayo, and oh my gosh, I mean, actually, every time that I say the name of the players that play his guitars, I always get a little stressed because I'm like, oh, what if I forget one of the most famous people that play his instruments? So forgive me there. They're played by many of the most famous people. You can go on his website if you search Stephan Connor. This particular guitar of his, he built for me. It's from the year 2024. So it was built, or I'm sorry, it's actually 2023. That's right. I picked it up in like November or December. So close. End of 2023. It is a double top with, yes, fan braced double top. Steve Connor, for a very long time now, the guitars he's known for are his lattice brace guitars. And he's been doing that for a very long time, but recently he's been doing double tops the past few years, I think, or so. And this particular one is fan braced. It's a 5 fan bracing. And there's all sorts of interesting bells and whistles on this one. You have a Tornavos. It's removable. So it actually is like a kind of a cone. Oh, my camera froze, so give me 1 second. This did happen to me in testing as well. This should work again now. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, I was saying this Tornavos is removable. So you can pull it right out, and you might ask how, and the strings are here. But the strings, you have to loosen up completely or remove them. It's not that big of a deal. You just loosen them so much where you can, open up past the sound hole, basically. And then this pulls right out. I mean, you can do it in 30 seconds. I won't do it here, as all the tuning will be quite annoying. But maybe in a future stream, you can let me know in the comments if you're curious about that. So this guitar by Stephan Connor, built in 2023, is a double top. It has this Tornavos, which lowers the main ear resonance of the guitar significantly. It makes it much deeper and darker sounding. There is some compromise with the brightness of the trebles when you have the Tornavos in, but not too much. I have to say, if I have this shut, which he's also known for, these magnetic sound ports, then the main air resonance of the guitar, so the tap tone of the guitar, is so low it sounds like a timpani, really. But when it's open, can you hear the difference in the pitch there? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that substantial? So anyways, anytime you have a sound port, a hole drilled on the side of your guitar, essentially, it's going to make the main air resonance higher. And when you cover it, or their lack thereof, would it be a lower main air resonance. So I found, the interesting thing is that the Tornavos lowers the main air resonance, but having this open raises it. And it results in a great sound. I'll show you. Oh, I just see this comment from Suraj. It's just beautiful that a human being can do this. Make this amazing guitar? Or are you talking about Livestream and show a bunch of awesome guitars? I think you're on the side of the luthier. But I totally agree. It is a fascinating guitar. So let's play a few examples. I'll start with what I was just playing Grand Valse here. Look up right away when I played that chord because I see I'm peaking the microphone. This is a very loud, very, very loud guitar. It's a consummate concert guitar. I mean, you've got tons of volume. It's very playable. I also ordered this to 640 scale with a little bit wider string spacing for space for your left-hand fingers. And I didn't even get through all the bells and whistles here. An armrest here, which is super sleek and elegant. Personally, sometimes up close, I don't necessarily like the look of armrests, to be honest. But when you're playing, I mean, even 20 feet away to an audience, no one ever will notice this. Imagine if there's one on a guitar in the back room. Actually, that one right there has an armrest. You can hardly see it. It just kind of blends in with your shirt or your background. And it's so much more comfortable. I think it's just the way to go. So anyways, it's very, very comfortable. And another interesting thing is that it has a raised fingerboard, which is no surprise if you know Steve Connor's guitars or any modern guitars, really. Lots of them have raised fingerboards, and that makes it so easy to reach the high frets. And those of you that are watching and you're like, yeah, these are all normal details, I'll show you something cool. And by the way, I haven't made a video on this guitar or listed it, so write to me if you are interested. This guitar has I want to get this right. I think it's Sonoran or Sonoran Ironwood, or maybe it's Desert Ironwood. Maybe it's the same thing. Saddle. So instead of a bone nut, for instance, actually this one was one Steve Connor made for me. That's normally made of bone that goes right here, right? Instead of that, it's a piece of wood, and I want to show it to you up close. Let me let it focus. Can you see that? And you know what? When he was showing me this guitar, yeah, and by the way, you're looking right here, right? Not this piece of wood, that's the tie block, but this saddle right here. And when he was showing me this, to be honest, I was really curious to immediately switch it to the bone saddle because I feel like there were so many things to process about this guitar. Oh, sound port. Oh, Tornavos. Oh my gosh, all of these little features, right? I was almost like, gosh, can we just reset this thing and hit normal, you know? But I have to say, I switched to the bone saddle and I was like, oh, I think this is better. You know, in my mind, I was like, this is what I'm used to. So this is probably better. So arrogant to me. But anyways, I got home with the guitar. I was really enjoying it. And then I decided, you know what? Let me put back in that ironwood here that he made. And I'm for sure, I definitely think it sounds better. So I haven't taken it back out. And I have this here. I am curious to do it again. But I have to say, I think it's really nice. And it's a very hard piece of wood. It's compensated, which, look at this. I mean, that's pretty cool. Done out of wood instead of bone. Oh, I don't know if I'm able to do this without destroying the guitar here against the microphones. But if you look closely, You can see compensation on the strings so that it's in really great tune. And there you go. And I'll show you the label and you can see the Tornavals up close. Now, something I'm curious about is if it's possible for him to make these out of brass like they were traditionally made on Torres and Hauser and onwards guitars. Now, Simplicio, this one over here, these guitars a lot of times have wooden Tornavals, so there is that. But the light color of this kind of draws your eye to it. But not really. I mean, if you're square like this, you don't notice it, right? But yes, that's such a beautiful deep sound. And in drop D, I realize I've been talking a lot, not playing, so I'm sorry. And hello, if you're tuning in, say hi. I see Bowen's here. Bowen is our social media guy. So give this guy a round of applause. He set up this stream. How about that? It's just you really take your time on this guitar and play exactly how you like it, because you can sit on notes. Love it. Let's read some comments here. Swaraj. Oh, that's very nice. I appreciate that. And Dr. Seven, hello from UK. Awesome. Oh, and audio's way better. I'm glad. You know what? To be honest, I was certain that it was better because before this stream, I did a test one, just private on the channel, to make sure the audio was good, and I listened with headphones. It's so much better now. Yeah, the last one I did through the YouTube native stream here. And hello, everyone tuning in. Don, good to hear from you. Beautiful guitars, great sound. Thank you. I'm glad it's working out. You know, the one thing I noticed when I was listening back to the live stream test was that there was a little bit of this like high frequency that was, I don't know, how can I describe it? It was just like a little invasive. And I think I mitigated it by changing the audio sample rate. But anyways, hello from India. Oh my gosh, Akshay, sorry. I think that's so cool that you're watching all the way from India. That's awesome. Never been to India, but I hope to one day. Someday soon. Is there still the festival in Calcutta? Sorry, I know I'm not saying that right. Calcutta? I know I've seen videos of David Russell there and thought that was really cool. I know he does some things in India. I feel very free on this guitar. Okay, now I'm going to shut the sound port, and the main air resonance, like I was showing those of you that have been here, the main air resonance will drop a ton because I have the Tornavals in too. So listen to the tap tone now. Can you hear this? Can you guys give me confirmation if you can hear the tap tone of the top changing? Listen. Hopefully you can hear, but it drops it a ton. And now, you can hear there's more of a depth to the bass, right? It sounds so deep. Yeah, it did get lower. Good, you guys saw it. Cool, Dr. Seven and action. Oh, Calcutta does have Music Fest, but so does Chennai, where I am in the south. Oh, that's awesome. Did the sound get warmer? Yes. I would say the main thing I hear is depth of the sound. So when you hit the sixth string, it just has deeper overtones, is the way I would describe it. And then the trebles do get warmer. I think... You know what it reminds me of with this shut? It reminds me of the Damen that I have, which I don't have out right now. It is in one of the cases, but I don't think we'll get to that today. Is the cat back here? I keep on hearing something. The cat might be in the room, but it's okay. So anyways, yes, it gets warmer, and some character I noticed about the Damen that I have is that the first string never sounds overly bright unless you really push it. It's got this dark sound. It's this inviting dark sound. It's mysterious. But the cool thing about this is, hey, you get tired of it, take this off. That's it. Just more high overtones, honestly, when I take this off. Now, maybe you guys don't even notice. And I'm not saying you guys, like, you can't tell. I'm just saying that from the other side, it may not be as apparent. I mean, right here, when this is off, the sound is just shooting up at me, you know, so. But yeah, I would say the sound gets warmer. Now, something that really blows my mind, and sorry if I'm getting too nerdy in here, but look, if you're tuned in this live stream, let's face it, you're a guitar nerd, so sign off. No, sorry if I get too nerdy here, but when this is shut, it has this low main air resonance, right? I already demonstrated this a lot. And then off, it's way higher, like almost a fourth higher. But if I put this to where only half of it is open, like this, it actually goes in between, right? Because depending on how open that port is, it changes the main air resonance. So I've actually figured out what amount makes it perfectly E. The tone E is the main air resonance. So this, I think this is it. Yeah. This is exactly E, right? It's a little hard to hear. But now, if I'm not in drop D, listen to this. Now E has that character that drop D sounded like. And of course F will sound really great too, because it's nearby. Which I feel like is a great compromise. And now the hole is opened up to about the size of like what you would imagine like a ruck sound port is. Maybe a little bit less. And it's like, hey, you want to avoid E? Okay, open it a little bit more and it'll be slightly above E. See, now I made that E a little short. Let's move it back. Maybe more. Yeah. See, now it literally, when I play this low E, this is so much fun, but when I play this low E, it makes me think I'm in drop D, even though I'm definitely not. I am, let's see how perfect of an E this is. Dead on. This is an E, and the feeling is that I'm in drop D. So that's the fun part about the Tornavox and the be able to open and close the sound port. I forget all the pieces that I play when I come on and do these streams. I'll play this. How nice, right? Oh gosh, okay, I'm reading your comments here. Say hi to Brazil. Hi Brazil, what's up, Matthias? My cousin is a big fan of your work. His name is Giuseppe Camole. Probably saying that wrong, but awesome. What's up, Joseph? Or Giuseppe. Awesome. Hello to Brazil. Another place I haven't been, but I would love to go. Let's see. Bowen, what's up? Yeah, man. It's such a great sound on this thing. Thanks. The guitar glows when you pluck close to the fingerboard. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. Actually, you are instigating me to just keep on playing this guitar here. Oh no, am I frozen? No, okay. Let's see. By the way, I'd like to know the width of the strings from the 6th to the 1st at the nut. I'm thinking of adjusting my Marty from 42. Oh yeah, the width of the string from the 6th to 1st at the nut. Yes, I know that number on this guitar. That is 43 millimeters, and that's my sweet spot, to be honest. I don't mind 42 at all. 42 is fine, and 44 is fine too, as long as the width of the neck doesn't get bigger because of that. I can't stand really wide necks. So anyways, yeah. The cool thing about nut width is you can literally just get a new nut built and change the spacing of the strings. And if that causes you to slip off the fingerboard too easily, this direction, you can just bump the nut towards the 6th string because you're never going to slip off the 6th string that way. Because when you use pressure, you're not going to send it this way. You're going to send it this way, right? So, okay, let's move on to the next guitar. This was a Stephan Connor from the year 2024. I'm going to set this down. And we've already hit this guitar, the 2014 Antonio Marin Montero, which I just made a video of. But I thought I'd play a few chords on because I see we have 15 people now here, which is, I guess I shouldn't be so surprised, but I'm so pleasantly surprised that 15 of you are right now watching from different places in the world. We got Brazil and India and UK in here. What other countries do we have going on here? Guys, this is a dream to be doing this, so thanks for staying tuned. Okay, I have to eat lunch soon, and I'm getting UPS notifications, which you guys know. Here at the Guitar Collection, we're sending and receiving a lot of packages, so I am worried. No, everything's good. I just checked. Things arriving tomorrow, and it notifying me. I have tomorrow a Dake Traphaken guitar and a 1979 Humphrey arriving. So if you're interested in those, write to me. I've already got someone I've got to write to the Traphaken about. A nice one, a Doubletop from 2013 with Brazilian rosewood. Okay, all of that aside, let's actually get to this. Croatia. Antonio, awesome. Croatia. Man, I've been to Zagreb, though. What a beautiful city. I want to go to some of the other beautiful places like Split and... that's all I know. Anyways, this right here is a 1929 Francisco Simplicio with a Cuban mahogany, like a bird's eye Cuban mahogany back and sides. And it is not incredibly bright inside of this room, but you can tell how spectacular this is. It is such a cool guitar. And of course, little brief history on Simplicio. He was a cabinet maker. And he studied guitar making with Enrique Garcia, who he is the sole disciple of, and he lets you know by writing that on all of his labels, where it reads, the sole disciple of Enrique Garcia. In fact, after Garcia passed away, Simplicio was using Garcia's labels, and he was just signing it Simplicio. So eventually, I want to say, maybe it's like 1927 or 28, he started making his own labels. This is in 1929 when he won a huge prize in Barcelona for guitar making. And in 1932, or maybe it was 1933, he died. It wasn't that long of a guitar making career, but Simplicio's guitars are known for having this beautiful old world dark sound. His craftsmanship is just incredible. I mean, when you look at the rosette, I'll stand up and show you here. You see this motif of the rosette. Hold on, let me get this in good view. I have to also be careful. You see this motif of the rosette mimicked in the bindings of the guitar here. You'll also see it here on the tie block of the bridge and along the sides of the guitars and on the back of the guitar. But maybe the most distinctive element is the headstock. Every one of them that you see, you might think they're all the same, but they're not. They are all slightly different from one another. This is not no factory doing this. This was him doing it by hand. And is just incredible. And these are the original tuners. Don't ask me to make. I do not know who made these tuners, but you'll notice on any original Simplicio guitar with the same tuners, you'll notice these pegs here, which is such a nerve-wracking stringing process because you have to wrap it around that. It doesn't go through the roller. It ties around that. Let me see if I can get that really close. You see that? It looks like something I did at home, right? But no, that's original. Once you get used to it, it's realistically very easy. It's just a fun, interesting element. But look as I move this through the light, how the engraving on the headstock just pops. Isn't that crazy? It's so beautiful. But anyways, let's see, comments. Antonio, yeah, awesome. And Munya, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. It may be out of tune, so I apologize. I just took this out. But listen to this guitar. I mean, you can't make this up. It's so nice. Oops, slipping off the fingerboard here. By the way, you'll notice me slipping off the fingerboard on this guitar because in this time, the early 1900s in Spain, it was very popular to actually build very small necks. Simplicio's guitars often are between 49 millimeter width and 51. I haven't played that many of these guitars, to be honest, but I've never played on one with a 52 millimeter nut. So the string spacing is very close together. And so for me, when I'm used to playing guitars with wider string spacing and I come to this neck, I'm slipping off, I'm missing things. But after I play on this guitar for a few minutes, you get very, very used to it. But you can hear the depth to the sound, right? It just keeps on humming. It's like you're hearing something in the distance that's just, and then it won't stop. That's what it's like when you play a chord on this guitar. You just hear all the pitches continue. a beautiful guitar. Do those protrusions on the tuner rolls get in the way of the other strings when you turn the tuners? Oh, good question. No, they don't. Do they get in the way of the other strings when you turn them? No, because the way I wrap them is very particular. You can sort of see how I wrap the strings there. If it'll focus on the headstock, I don't think it will from this position. Sorry, but yeah, the way I wrap the strings, it doesn't interfere. Yeah. So, anyways, this is a 1929 Francisco Simplicio guitar that is available. I haven't made a formal video on it. I recorded a Christmas song on it at the beginning of last year, but it's one I've been sort of resisting letting go of, and I have in this display cabinet over here to my right that's out of camera. So if you are interested in it, let me know. You can convince me. But anyhow, I want to share these 3 guitars with you. We went through, by the way, in the description is the name of all these guitars, and you can check them out on the Guitar Collection website. If you're curious about when the next one of these streams will be, it will be today, next week, Tuesday, at 11 a.m. Central U.S. time. I'm thrilled that there are 16 of you here watching this, and I know many people will end up watching this later. So I will leave this live. I might take down the first one as the audio is so bad. It's just a bad look, to be honest. I'll leave this up because I know the audio is good. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions about any guitars or want to just talk guitars, shoot me an email. That's in the description of the video as well, I believe. And definitely tune in next time. I'll be releasing another video this Sunday, I believe. So check that out. And thanks so much for watching. I'll go ahead and end the stream. Bye-bye.